Agree with that. Senator, I know you helped bring our friend Haroon back to the United States. This is great news this morning. We're waking up finding out that he just landed, I believe, in Washington, D.C. Let's bring in Haroon. Haroon, good morning. Our prayers were answered. We've all been praying for you, and you're back home. Tell us about the journey and how you feel.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I should appreciate Mr. Tom Cotton, that he really helped us to get out of there. Without him, it was impossible. Yes, I just got landed to Washington, D.C., Dallas airport. So everything is fine. We're feeling safe and happy. A little tired. We haven't been sleeping more than 36 or 40 hours almost. But yeah, we made it here.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Haroon, when we talked to you last week, and you told us the harrowing story about how you had gone to the airport twice, and there were just thousands of people. You were reluctant to show your American passport because you were worried that the Taliban would see that and then follow you to your parents' home and kill your whole family. Tell us about the day you finally made it through the checkpoints and got to the planes.
Eventually, I had to do that. Even my parents, as you just mentioned, they have to show the Taliban all the paperwork that he had in his hand. Otherwise, they will ask him where you're going and stuff like that. Even myself, I did show them my passport, to be honest, that I am an American. I want to go inside. So the last day, Mr. Tom Cotton, he tried his best, and his people, Zach Wiley and other people, I forgot their names, and I know the other one, Safi Raufi, and those guys, they did their best to help me get out. Even they gave me a ride from home to the gate, and from the gate somehow they had connections without going through that crowd. They put me all the way in the front, and I got a chance to talk to one of the Americans, so that I show my passport, and they got my kids from over the fence, and then I went behind the wall. They gave me a letter to get in. So this is how I got in the last time, when Mr. Cotton, Zach Wiley, and Raufi's Safi Rauf, I think, those people helped me to get in there.
Haroon, we're glad you're here, and thank you for your service to our country. As a U.S. citizen, now earned that citizenship. Senator, I see you smiling there. To get that kind of mission accomplished means a great deal personally, I know, to you. But Haroon had the good fortune of being a translator for a future American U.S. senator. What's it like for other Haroons who don't have that connection? What's the process like?
Well, Pete, first off, Haroon was not my translator, but he did contact our office last week, and we gave him what we gave so many other Americans who have been in touch with us.
Very cool.
The information they needed about where to go to the airport, how to be prepared for the long waits in the hot sun. Sometimes we were able to connect these folks to friends that we have inside the airport who were able to direct them to the right location where there was the least amount of crowding, the least risk of attack. So we're very grateful that Haroon came back, but as you said, there are hundreds and thousands of other Haroons all around Kabul and all around Afghanistan, Americans who are standing by, who need help from our government to help get them inside the wire and get back to their country. And it's pretty disappointing that it took a freelancing United States Senate office who's been working around the clock with all of my young men and women on my team to help get Haroon out and so many others, when it should be the State Department who is providing this information or helping them get out. We're still going to do everything we can for as long as we can, but it really goes back to Joe Biden making the announcement that we'll stay in Afghanistan to get our people out for as long as our people are there. That's what we owe our fellow countrymen.
Yeah. Haroon, last week we talked to Marcus Luttrell. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's an American hero, a soldier, was a Navy SEAL, and was trapped in Afghanistan by himself. He wrote the book Lone Survivor, and we sent in troops and we got him out. He was hiding in a bunker or buried under sand, and we found him. And he said all he kept thinking about is getting back to American soil. You've taken a similar journey. You were fearful of death, feared that your whole family was going to be killed. What is it like to be safe on American soil again?
True. So this is how I was feeling. So all I was feeling about to get out myself and get out my family. My family, my kids. So I was worrying about them. They were my first priority. So this is what I did. And thanks, Mr. Tom, again. So he helped us to get out of here. As he mentioned, he did help other families that I saw that I was there. I saw other families with us. They were trying to get in. So it was not just me that he was trying to help. There was other families. And especially myself, my parents, I left them behind. My wife's parents, they're still in Afghanistan. I'm happy that I'm here. I saved my kids, but mentally still I'm gone. So I'm lost still. So I'm worrying about those. And they've been working with America 9 years, both sides, my parents. So like now I'm just worrying about them. And Mr. Tom Cotton, I appreciate your help, and I wish you keep helping everyone like me, like my parents, whoever else is there, and I will appreciate that.
Yeah, Haroon, are your parents and your wife's parents worried about life under the Taliban, what that's going to be like?
Of course, yes, because they've been going on that gate every day with me. So they have to show their passports and I mean their documents that they do work with American. They got the visas sending by by the embassy that they didn't got the approval yet because it's a long distance, but they have their documents shows that they can go inside the gate passes. So now the Taliban is checking every checkpoints that they see them and they know them. And my dads, they were in one of the other news that I was with interview. Their picture being posted from my Facebook, which I was not aware, to be honest. They're targeted already. So like I'm really trying to get them out as soon as possible. As soon as American leaves, you know what's gonna happen. Everyone knows.
Senator, what's going to happen?
Of course, they're gonna go after them, and I already seen some families. They've been already asking questions by my neighbor. So like, oh, your son is still here. Why is he's not going in America? He was a guy that we don't know. Like my brother, he came. Like someone asked me, like, is still your brother here? Or when are you guys gonna go? Because I heard you guys went to the back of the airport, but you guys didn't make it. Stuff like that. This kind of questions are scary.
Mm-hmm. They are.
I can't imagine, Senator. How much?
You don't know.
How much time is your staff? I've been in touch with, you know, a lot of it is other veterans who are members of Congress now, whether it's Colonel Michael Walz or Senator Lindsey Graham, and it's not just vets, but how much of your time as a staff and your office is being spent on case by case, working with translators and others, Senator?
Well, Pete, really since last weekend, this is what most of my staff has been doing around the clock. We've had hundreds and hundreds of cases open to help thousands of folks who are trying to get back to America. We have a lot of young veterans on my staff or veterans in my alumni network who have connected us to friends that we have at the airport in Kabul or connected us to Americans around the country who have family who are trying to get back, like Haroon was after visiting his family to the United States. So we've set most of our work aside over the last week to try to help all of our fellow countrymen get back to this country. And I couldn't be prouder of the young men and women who work for me.
How did you know about Haroon's story? Watching Fox?
He contacted us early last week. So in many cases, Ainsley, what we can provide the Americans who are trying to get back to this country is simply a human being who will be there on the phone or responding to their email promptly, so they know that someone back home is aware of their plight, is trying to help them, is getting them out, as opposed to a random website the State Department was sending American citizens to last week. Yeah. So we can provide them the information, give them some coaching about what to do at the airport. Sometimes we've been able to connect them with friends we have inside the airport to direct them to the best gate at the moment to get inside. So there's a lot of different techniques we've used to help these Americans, and we just couldn't be happier that so many are back. But again, there are a lot of people like Haroon around the city and around the country, and it's time the administration make it clear that we will not leave any of them behind.
Well, Haroon is an American citizen, but you know, he's got members of his family who have worked with the Americans over the last 20 years, and they still need to get out. Haroon, the president said yesterday, yeah, we might have to extend the deadline past the end of this month, but the Taliban came out and said you can't do it. Because that's going to be a red line. You can't cross it. What's going to happen at the end of the month to those tens of thousands of Afghanis who will not be on the road to freedom?
So I want to say for Mr. Joe Biden, if he's trying to do that, please do it this way. At least the rest of the day that we have, make it this way. Like, do not bring the people in that they don't have any documentation. I mean, like, they haven't been working with Americans. They're just scared from the Taliban to get out. But we don't need to bring those people in. Bring the people who has the proof that they did work for 9 or 7 years, more than that, like my dad's, my family. So they did work with American for many years. So this thing on the back of the lane, they keep bringing people from outside in, which they haven't been working. I was on the flight. I seen a lot of people in the airport. They have only their it's gonna be funny. They have the bill, the electrician bill. So they show that on the gate and they got in house. So like, don't bring those people in, and bring the people, your priority, whoever did work for you, and their lives in danger. So like everyone else is like, there's thousands of them. Like my dad, they've been working with them for real.
So Haroon, you're saying that there are a lot of Afghanis who have no connections to Americans, but just want to get out before the Taliban takes over?
Exactly. Like the most people, the American, they already brought in America or wherever they carry them, they let them go inside the airport. At least I know a lot of people, they were there, they didn't have even anything. Like they had no proofs that they work with American, but they want to save their lives. I'm not against those people, but if it's a limit of time, we're running short of out of time. So please bring the people for real. Their life is in danger and in risk. Not all of them.
Haroon, with this chaos, have you heard from any other of your fellow Afghans who have worked with Americans questioning whether it was worth it, whether we really were committed to having their backs the entire time? Does anyone regret it?
Yeah, of course, like they've been all, I mean, especially whatever is right now, I mean, I should say, like, America is doing right now is great. Like, I mean, Mr. Tom Cotton and these people, they take us out, and all other Afghans, as I know, they're waiting for this. They're hoping that someone can help them to get out of Afghanistan at the moment. As I mentioned earlier, it should be only people who did work for America. And there are still people I know, they have their green cards and visa. They cannot make it in, and they're still in Afghanistan. It's my family is there, like my cousins and relatives, and they're living in Denver, but they're still in Afghanistan. They couldn't make it in.
Haroon, really quickly, why didn't your parents come with you?
They were trying to, but as Mr. Tom Cotton is aware, the guys who helped me to get in, they were asking for 4 of us, like me, my wife, and my 2 children. So like that's how much they were filling in their car. So they told us we cannot take all of you in once. Right. That's a problem. You have to take you 4 first, and then your family will figure it out. You have to talk with Senator or Office, Mr. Tom Cotton.
Right. So. Yep. Well, welcome home.
Yes.
We're glad you're back.
And Senator Tom Cotton, thanks for all your work and for your insight this morning.
Yes.
I will be in touch with you. Thank you.
God bless you both. An answer to prayer, Haroon. A lot of people praying for you.
Indeed.